We are on session 6. So after kind of thinking about this topic of specific learning disability, I realized it's going to be a two-parter. It is the largest category for students with disabilities under IDA that receive special education services. So I feel like it's more than just a short video. So I am going to do a two-parter. So the first part, I'll go over the definition and some of the overall areas. The second part, I'll get into more of like the specific ways that we identify specific learning disability and all that. So, all right. So specific learning disability is a term, right? It means a disorder in one or more of the basic psychological processes involved in understanding or in using language, spoken or written, which disorder may manifest itself in imperfect ability to, here we go, listen, think, speak, read, write, spell, or do mathematical calculations. So that's the IDA definition. Every state expands on that. So most states do agree that in this area, so the areas that you will typically see in your state when your student is identified as having a specific disability would be having a disability in written expression, reading fluency, reading comprehension, basic reading, so those more like those phonics skills, having a disability in math calculation or math reasoning, oral expression, so being able to express what they're thinking, and listening comprehension, so understanding what is being said to them. So those last two I mentioned, those are oral language skills. Now, I will say those are a lot less common and typically have to do with more students that are involved with like speech and things like that. So, all right. So when it says basic psychological processes, so it does include disorders such as dyslexia. There's aphasia, developmental aphasia, brain injuries, perceptual disabilities, things like that. So what it does not include is if there's a medical reason, such as hearing or vision, right? That's the reason why, or that's the better reason why that student is struggling academically. And it can't be the result of any like cultural factors. And this goes for any other, those are exclusionary factors. So cultural reasons, economic disadvantage, or an emotional disability, things like that. So, or intellectual disability. So basically if that learning disability or that struggle with that academic area can be better explained through other disabilities, you go with those disabilities. Yeah, so again, a lot of times we get students that have a specific learning disorder diagnosis from the DSM-5, which is helpful in the sense that kind of guides our assessments and it helps us out with a lot of information. But again, we are looking at different things and we're looking at functional skills and how it manifests itself in general in the education environment versus just that contrived testing environment. So hope that helps out. I will say, parents, do not waste your money on getting a private evaluation for a specific learning disorder unless you are going to get intervention services through that agency. If you plan on taking that evaluation and going to the school district with it, skip all that, go straight to the school district and advocate for that evaluation because it's free. And more than likely, when I do get private evaluations, I find holes in them, I find some irregularities or things that I need to look in further. So, all right.